Videos Catherine Calvin, the first contest. Our title is Good Neighbors. Good Neighbors.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be? Wait, before I ask that question, there are a few things about living in my neighborhood that you might want to know that you can consider as part of your answer. Now, the first thing that you want to know about my neighborhood is something that my neighbors are pretty much in unanimous agreement on. And that would be their opinion of my immediate next door neighbor. Let's call her Sharon. It's okay. I think that's actually her name. But most of the neighbors refer to her as something Cheryl told me I can't say in this audience. So I learned not long after I moved in that I don't even need to give directions to get to my house. Because anyone that lives in my community already knows if I say I live next to Sharon, first of all, they give me a pitying look. And then they say, I know right where that is. And this is because of the reputation that she has developed for being a little bit selfish and on occasion destructive to the community. But I was determined to make friends with my new neighbors. And so I made all of these positive communications to Sharon. I would smile and talk to her, but she wasn't having any of that. And so over the years, our relationship has become something I like to refer to as tit for tat. For example, the other day, I went out to get the mail. And I noticed right there on my driveway a rusty nail. And I knew who did it. Sharon. But, being the bigger person, I did the neighborly thing. And I picked it over under her car. So the next day I came out, and what did I see? But two nails on my side of the driveway. Now the second thing that you might want to know about my community is the fact that we are part of an HOA. Not to be confused with DOA, which is something only a little bit different. HOA is short for Home Owners Association. And I can tell by the looks on some of your faces that you aren't exactly fans. Neither was my friend Mike. When I told him about my new home and how I was moving into this community, Mike said to me this: those Nazi fascist HOAs think they can tell everyone what to do. Well, not me. I will never live in an HOA. But some of you might enjoy the amenities and services that come from living in an HOA. The beautiful pool, the lushly landscaped lawns, the fun activities produced by the Activities Committee. And you may even have found an opportunity to engage in leadership, joining one of the various committees, or perhaps even serving on the board of directors. Much like my friend Mike, who today is the president of his HOA. Now, I also decided to join the board of directors for my homeowners association. I had the opportunity to learn a lot of really fascinating things. But the third thing that you need to know about my community is that amongst 815 homeowners, we are largely apathetic. Our typical monthly meeting would be attended by as many as the board. And sometimes not even all of us. So it's sometimes hard to get business done that way. But generally, the neighbors, they don't care. Except one time. One issue brought the community out in droves. What, I'm sure you're wondering, could inspire such community activism? Perhaps you're thinking, Catherine, it was the time when the Homeowners Association was forced to install fire lanes throughout the community, reducing over 50% of the available parking and at a huge expense to all of us. Nobody blinked, much less show up for a meeting. Or maybe you're thinking it's about the time that the FBI arrested our security director. Right off the job in the middle of the community. Nope, that didn't do it either. The issue that caused all of the neighbors to rally around was geese. Yes, large white birds. Now you might be wondering how it's possible to have two sides of this discussion, but as it turns out, some of my neighbors were very opposed to the geese. They objected to the fact that there was waste destroying their lawns and preventing their children from playing outside. But at the same time, there were others who loved the appearance of the geese and how they contributed to a beautiful sense of community when they were swimming on the ponds. And then there was the one lady who made this point, that one of the geese was the reincarnation of her grandpa. Because that happens. So my neighbors, they're a little bit unusual. We come together about some things and we get torn apart by others. But the other day I was out getting the mail again. And at that moment I'm crossing the driveway and I hear, ting. So faint I almost didn't hear it. And I looked around and sure enough, I heard it again. Ting. And I looked up 4 stories above the driveway to see a tiny little bird step to the edge of the roof line and drop a rusty nail from its beak right onto my driveway. Now I know what y'all are thinking because I had the same thought. How did Sharon train a tiny bird to drop nails on my driveway? So I've lived in my community now for quite a while, and I've said some positive things about it, and I've said some not so great things about it. But overall, I found it to be a great place to live, and definitely a great place for speech material. So I would like to ask you now, my fellow Toastmasters and friends, won't you be my neighbor?